This is our VoiceThread Basics 3 workshop, where we're going to talk about moderating comments, using threaded replies, using private replies, and copying voice threads. All right, so let's go to the VoiceThread homepage. All right, what I'm going to do, we're going to create a voice thread together in a minute, and we're going to turn comment moderation on that voice thread. But I just want to show you what comment moderation looks like first. So this is a voice thread that has comment moderation turned on. What you can see is that in these comments, you have a closed eye icon with like a line through it, letting you know that that's private. So as the creator of this voice thread, I can see and hear all of these comments. But the other participants on this voice thread cannot see or hear any of the moderated comments. They can see any that don't have comment moderation. So I recorded my comment initially and then turned comment moderation on. So my comment is visible to everybody, but the other participants' comments are hidden. So why do we use comment moderation? We use it primarily for assessment purposes. There are other use cases, but primarily it's used for assessment. So if I'm asking my students a question on a slide and I don't want them to hear each other's answers, I would turn comment moderation on. All right, and you can always turn comment moderation off in the playback settings, and if you want to reveal a comment, you can do that.
Hello, everyone.
All right, so this comment is moderated. You can see it has that closed eye in the comment bubble and on the identity image. But if I wanted to reveal this, I could just click unhide. And now that comment is visible to everybody on the voice thread. If I did that accidentally, maybe I want to re-hide it, I can just click hide. All right, as long as you have comment moderation turned on, you will see the hide, unhide option in the comment bubble. Once you turn comment moderation off, you can unhide a comment, but then you won't be able to re-hide it because there's no comment moderation turned on. All right, so that's just the basic idea. Now, what I want to do is create a simple voice thread. I'm going to go through the creation process. Here's the basic idea. From my voice thread homepage, I click on the plus sign, and I have a number of options for what I want to use as my source for my slides. I can record from my webcam. I can go to the external sources and bring in stuff from Google Drive. I can add a YouTube video if I paste the URL there. Most often, though, you'll go through your computer. So that's what I'm going to do. So for today's purposes, I just recommend uploading a single image file. So I'm going to click Add from Computer. You can always upload big PDFs, big movie files, whatever you want, up to 3 gigabytes in size for any single upload. But obviously, the bigger the file, the longer it will take to process. You know, an hour-long movie that's like 2.5 gigabytes might take you 10 minutes to upload and process, 15 minutes depending on your internet speed. So we don't want to wait that long. Today, we just want to take a quick single image. So I'm going to upload that. I'm going to give this voice thread a title. So let's call this discussion 1. I click save. All right, now I have my file. That's all we need to do for today. But I'm going to open this up and record a comment. So I'm going to click on the plus sign, and I'm going to choose my comment method: text, audio, webcam, or file upload. So I'll go with an audio comment. All right, now I'm recording. Now, while I record, I can annotate on the slide by clicking and dragging my cursor around, and that's because of the doodle tool down here in the bottom left. All right, so I can choose different colors and decide if I want my drawings to fade or not. So I have it set to fade, and I have it set for red, but I can change to green if I want, or any other color, and I can stop and I can save it. All right, now I'm recording. All right, one other quick note that you can do while you're recording: if I record an audio comment, I can use the zoom tool here to zoom in, and if I click and drag, I doodle, but if I hold down shift when I click and drag, I can pan. I can let go of shift and doodle, hold down shift to pan to a different spot on the slide when I'm zoomed in, and I can zoom in, zoom out as I like. and stop and save.
Audio.
All right, so I'm going to play this back for you. I just want you to see how the zooming and the doodling is all captured as part of my comment.
Audio comment. I can use the zoom tool here to zoom in. And if I click and drag, I doodle. But if I hold down shift when I click and drag, I can pan. I can let go of shift and doodle, hold down shift to pan to.
All right, so you can see some of that stuff. All right, now the purpose of creating this VoiceThread is to turn on comment moderation. So let's say this was some type of a quiz where I'm giving my students a question and I want them to answer it, but I do not want them to see each other's answers. What I can do is go to my playback settings. There's a number of ways to get there. I'm going to show you this way from within the media player. I can get to my thread settings and I can click enable comment moderation and then click save. Right, and now you can see the hide or unhide is there. So I can hide that comment. I can hide this comment if I want, or I can unhide. All right, so once you turn on comment moderation, you'll see the hide or unhide in the comment bubble. Yeah, comment moderation is a really useful feature for a number of use cases. I'll show you another element here. But for those of you that have VoiceThread integrated into their Blackboard or LMS, when you are adding the different links, you'll get to this configuration menu at some point, okay? Now, the main use case is for the comment assignment. So if I go to the assignment builder, that's the option that allows me to grade my VoiceThread links, right? So I click assignment builder, and the create assignment is the one that you use when the students are going to create a VoiceThread for a presentation that they're going to make. The watch assignment is just literally what it says. It's the students going to watch a VoiceThread. There's no interaction. The comment assignment is the one that you use for any quizzes or graded discussions. All right. So if you're going to share a VoiceThread as a comment assignment, you click comment and then you select the VoiceThread that you want to share. So let's say it's this discussion, right? I'm going to select that one and I have a chance to edit the slides. I'm going to have a chance to edit the comments. All right, but here, this is the same playback settings that we saw earlier, right? The thread settings. So whenever you're sharing a link, whether it's an individual VoiceThread or a comment assignment, you'll see the option as you're going through this wizard to enable comment moderation. All right, so that's the same. Let me go back. Let's go back in time here. All right, so let's say I'm sharing an individual VoiceThread, a non-graded VoiceThread, but maybe I'm having a discussion where this is another use case, like it's a non-graded use case. But let's say I'm having a discussion with my students in, the second week of class. And I ask them a question on the VoiceThread, and I want them all to answer, but I do not want them to hear each other's initial response. And then once everyone has answered my initial prompt, then what I'm going to want to do is reveal all of their comments and let them engage with each other. All right, so that's like a two-step kind of discussion. So let's say that's the scenario that I'm doing here. So I select a VoiceThread, I click continue, right? Once again, I can adjust the slides, I can adjust the comments, and then it'll bring me right to this thread settings where I can enable comment moderation if I want and continue on through to share. All right, give it a name and publish it in Blackboard. All right, so that's another use case for that. Now, I do see a question. Once comment moderation is on, should comments be automatically hidden or will they need to be manually hidden each time? So when you turn on comment moderation, it automatically hides the comments. Any comments that were recorded before you had comment moderation turned on will not be hidden, right? Comment moderation is a feature that when you turn it on, it affects any comments that are coming into your VoiceThread from that point on. When you turn it off, any comments that come on after will not be hidden, right? So it only affects comments that are recorded while comment moderation is turned on. All right. Now, your comment as the instructor will not be moderated because when you are commenting, we're assuming you're commenting to give your students instructions. There's no reason for you to hide a comment from them, right? Because nobody will see or hear that comment, right? So when you record a comment on a voice thread that you've created, it will be visible to everybody. Unless for some reason you want to hide it, you'll have the ability to do that if comment moderation is turned on. But comment moderation is designed for all of the incoming comments from your students. So once you turn it on, any incoming comments from that point on will be hidden. All right, so that's the basic idea. Now, there is another use case that I want to bring to your attention, and let's talk about that. So let's say that I've created a voice thread that's intended to be used for discussion purposes. All right, and I ask my students a question, and they're all responding. Now, this is something that rarely happens because VoiceThread, you can't make anonymous comments on VoiceThread, and everything is time-stamped and tied to your account. So if a student was going to make an inappropriate comment in your course, VoiceThread would be a terrible choice for them to use for inappropriate comments, right? But let's say you're having kind of a hot button discussion of some type. Let's say maybe you're teaching a class where you're having a discussion about gender identity or religion or some type of geopolitical situation where tempers could flare. People may say something that's insensitive or triggering to somebody else in the class, whether intentionally or unintentionally, right? You may get a comment like that, and it may be something that you don't want everyone to hear. But the rest of the discussion is open, right? So it's not like a private discussion. It's an open discussion, but somebody says something really inappropriate. What you can do is turn comment moderation on, hide that one comment, and then turn comment moderation back off. So from that point on, the conversation can proceed in an open way. Everybody can discuss everything, but that one offensive comment that you have will be hidden. So you can address it, you can save it, you can show it to a disciplinary committee if you need to, you can address it with the student, but it's not going to negatively impact the rest of the class. So here's how this would work. Let's say for a minute that this comment is in a discussion and this comment is inappropriate. Now, this is not an inappropriate comment. This is a perfectly acceptable comment. We're just pretending. Let's pretend this comment is inappropriate.
It's Henry again. This is such a fun way to use the Doodle tool. I'm going to go for...
All right. So I hear something in that comment and I say, oh no, this is going to be a problematic comment. What I'm going to do is go into my thread settings. I'm going to enable comment moderation and click save. And now I can hide this comment. And now I can go back into comment moderation, into my settings, turn comment moderation off. That comment will remain hidden, and any comments that come in from this point on will be visible to everybody. All right, so that's how you do it if you want to hide one specific comment because it's inappropriate or something along those lines. All right, so I do see a question from Nicole, and this is perfect timing, Nicole. So Nicole is asking, I'm in the previous scenario where I had that two-step discussion where I initially want everyone's comments to be hidden, but then later on in the week, I want to reveal all of them, turn comment moderation off, and let the comments go back and forth, let students engage with each other. All right, so to answer your question, Nicole, you can do stuff in bulk. So let's say this is a scenario where I did that two-step conversation, where I initially have comment moderation turned on, and I want the students to comment without seeing or hearing each other's answers. But then later on in the week, I want to turn comment moderation off, reveal all of the comments, and let them engage with each other. All right, so in this scenario, you can see I have a number of comments that have been moderated. What I can do is expand this conversation channel. I can turn on comment management mode, select all of the comments at once, and unhide them all. All right. And when you unhide all of the comments, it will reveal all of the comments. All right. Now, for the thread settings, once again, just to show you. All right. So I open up the conversation channel. I turn on comment management mode. I select all comments and I can unhide. And now all of those comments are now visible to everybody. All right. So if you're doing that two-step conversation, you can do this all in bulk. I can turn it on. I can select all of the comments and I can hide them if I want or unhide them. All right. So that's up to you. Just be warned, you can also delete all of the comments. So if I select all of these comments and then delete them, I'll get a warning message. Hey, are you sure you want to delete these 12 comments? Anytime you get a pop-up, I always recommend reading it. It's only one short sentence and it could save you a lot of heartache. If you delete all of the comments because you just quickly click through this, the comments are not recoverable. All right. So you don't want to do that. Make sure you just take a second to read it. Are you sure you want to delete these comments? If you don't, you can just cancel or X out. All right, you say, wait a minute, what I wanted to do is actually hide or unhide the comments. All right, so that's available in the expanded conversation channel. When you turn on comment management mode, you can select all, or if you just want to reveal a few. All right, maybe you just select a few of them and you want to unhide or hide them, you can do that as well. All right, so there's your answer, Nicole. All right, now another element I want to show you here. So let's say I have comment moderation turned on. These comments are hidden. All right, but I want to give feedback to my students. What I can do is record a private reply. All right, so let's say I'm listening to this comment.
Hello, everyone. It's Henry again. This is such a fun.
All right, now she gives an answer and I want to give her feedback, but this comment, remember, is only visible to me. Nobody else can see or hear this comment. So if I just record a comment normally and say, hey, Henry, your answer, blah, 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 no one's going to know what I'm talking about. They're not going to know who I'm responding to. It's not going to make any sense. What I want to do is record a private reply just for her. So if I click on this icon, there's a little comment bubble with a lock in it. If I click on that, I can then record a response. And I can say, hey, Henry, good job. Don't forget that this is also a viable answer and blah, blah, blah. Whatever I'm going to say, I can stop and I can save. And that would be saved as a private reply to that response. All right, so that's how that looks and works. Private replies work as kind of bookends to comments that have been moderated, right? So when you turn on comment moderation, all of the student comments are moderated. If you want to reply to them, use the private reply feature. All right, so that's the basic idea behind comment moderation and private replies. Now what I want to do is go over copying. So there are a number of ways to copy VoiceThreads. All right, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do this. All right, so number one, if I go in to my menu, let's say I have a VoiceThread open on the edit page, I go into this three-dot menu, I see copy VoiceThread. This is one way to get to the same menu that we're going to get to a few different times here. So I can click copy VoiceThread. It will title it copy of whatever it was called, and let me decide, do I want to copy all of the comments, only my comments, or copy no comments? Most of the time, you're probably going to want to choose copy only my comments. Usually the reason to copy a VoiceThread is because you want to use that same VoiceThread with a new group of students, but you don't want all of last year's students' comments on it. Right now, I've heard some folks who don't know about copying that unfortunately they'll take their VoiceThread and they'll delete all of their old student comments. And it breaks my heart because you're losing all of that work that the students have added. So now you have no record of it. If you wanted to go back and look at something or show or whatever, you now have lost those for good. So there's never a reason to really delete a comment unless it's one that you've recorded and you make a mistake. You want to delete and re-record it. you really never need to delete student comments. What you want to do is copy the voice thread and choose to copy over only your comments. All right. Now, in some instances, you're going to copy all of the comments. So I know if I go, let's say I go to a conference and I want to show a voice thread that I'm demonstrating, or in these workshops, I'll want to demonstrate a voice thread. And I want to show the comments that are on there, but I don't want to interact with the original because then people might get notifications that, I've commented on it and things like that. So what I want to do is copy all of the comments for those purposes. There are other times where, let's say maybe you teach a class that's more current events based. Maybe it's like a political science class and you're talking about the midterm elections, and you have some general comments on the voice thread about midterm elections, but you also have some comments that are very specific to certain congressional races that are happening right now. And those comments are not going to make any sense in 2 semesters when you're reusing the voice thread. So for those situations, you can choose to copy no comments, and then maybe you'll re-record them and you'll make comments about the new candidates that are running, in 2026 or 2028 or whatever it may be. All right, so you always have that option. All right, now there are a number of ways to get there. Like I said, within an open voice thread in the media player, you can copy a voice thread as well. You can click on that 3-dot menu and copy voice thread. So if I click copy voice thread, it will retitle it copy of whatever, and I can choose, let's go with copy only my comments. That's usually what you're going to want to choose. I also recommend retitling it something that's a little more specific. If you have a voice thread that you use, let's say you teach 4 different sections of the same course in the fall semester. Instead of having them each called copy of discussion 3, maybe you'll call this one section 2034, discussion 3. And the next one that you copy will be section 1058 or whatever it's called, right? So you give it more specific names so you know which is which. When you're ready, you just click copy, and then you can go right to the copy or just close and stay with the original that you're working with. All right, so now I have the copy open. All right, so I just want to check in the questions here. If you copy all the comments to use the voice thread as a demo, can you hide student names? No, it'll copy over their names. They won't get notified if you reply to their comment on the copy, but it will copy over their names. So if you wanted to do something like that, Nicole, for demo purposes, here's what you can do. You can download the comment. So let's say I just want to get the audio from Henry's comment here. I can download. So in her comment, you see that little download button? I can click download. I can download this wherever I want. Let's say I want to download this maybe on my desktop. All right, and that downloads it. Now, let's say on another voice thread, maybe I want to upload that. So I can create a different identity, and this is a little bit more advanced, but if you have other identities, you could have a fake student identity. So let's say I'm going to use Allie. All right, and sometimes you just may need to refresh to make sure that the identity sticks. All right, but I can go to the comments and then I can upload that file as a comment. So I'm going to go into my desktop and I can see that comment. I can upload that. And now that comment looks like it's coming from this student, even though that's not the real student.
Hello, everyone.
All right, so that's a little diversion. That's a little advanced, but you could download for demo purposes and then upload it as an alternate identity if you want. So that's just another option for you. All right, and I do see another question. If you copy only my comments, I assume that if you've left replies, those will also be copied. No, actually, they won't. So the comments that get copied over are your original comments. If you're replying to a student, that student's comment is not going to get copied over, so your reply to that student will not be copied over. If you just recorded it by clicking on the plus sign, you did not use the threaded replies, which we're going to get to next, then any comments that you make just by starting off by clicking on the plus sign will be copied, but any threaded replies will not be copied. So that's a good transition to threaded replies. The final thing that I want to show you today is threaded comments. All right, but whenever you're having a discussion with your students, or a student maybe posts a comment on a slide in your voice thread and you want to reply to that student, or you want to give feedback to a student on a paper that they wrote. So let's say this student created this voice thread and I want to give her some feedback. I can click on this arrow icon. I can record my response and start a thread of replies. All right, and you can see that in a number of examples here. In this discussion, you can see there are threaded replies to this comment. Underneath, you can see there are threaded replies to that comment. All right, so you can record threaded replies wherever you like. So let me reveal these comments here. I'm gonna unhide all of these. All right, now I'm going to go into my thread settings. That's because of threaded commenting. All right, so whenever you create a voice thread, I always recommend threaded commenting. You turn it on, and I would always save that as a default. The only situation where you don't need threaded commenting is when you're creating a comment assignment in your learning management system where comment moderation is turned on because there's no interaction, right? So threaded commenting is just a thread setting, but like I said, I always recommend it because when you have threaded commenting turned on, you can reply to individual commenters. So in this, let's say this is a discussion that we're having here. Maybe we're discussing this chart or graph. And let's say I want to respond to Mauricio here. All right. If I just record a comment normally, it's going to put it at the bottom of the conversation channel. All right, so I might start off by saying, hey, Mauricio, great job on this, but it's kind of out of context and it's a little awkward, right? But if I want to reply directly to him,
I'm going to try to test and see.
I see the arrow icon. I can click and say, hey, good job on this. Don't forget that the highest and the lowest, blah, 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 whatever I'm going to say, I can stop and save it. All right, and you can see my reply to him there. All right, you can see I have other replies. All right, I replied to her and she replied back. All right, this is a visible thread to everybody. So other people can join in on a thread. A private reply looks very similar in that it's a circular identity image, but it has a lock icon on it, right? The threaded replies are visible to everybody. So this is how you kind of start a branching conversation, a little thread. All right, so as a general rule, just from a workflow standpoint, whenever you are creating a discussion, you want to make sure your students understand when to use the threaded replies. All right, so if you're asking the entire class a question, what you're going to want them to do is not reply by clicking on the reply arrow in your comment. You're going to want them to just click on the plus sign and record. But then once they comment, and you want to reply back to them, or the other students are going to reply back to them, that's when you use the threaded replies. All right, so that's the general idea. So like in this example, if I ask a question to everybody, right, I want to hear their individual responses. So we're going to kind of start our threads based off of their response. So I can see Junko, I can see Henry's comment, I can see Mauricio's comment, and they record their comments just normally by clicking on the plus sign and recording them. But now the replies to what they had to say, this is where the discussion really gets started. So that's when you click on the arrow to reply. So any feedback that I give in my course is with the threaded replies, and any feedback other people give each other, any discussions they want to start with each other, that's all with the reply arrow. All right. So that's the basic idea there. All right, folks. So that is everything that I wanted to go over today. I want to thank you all for joining today. Happy voice threading, everybody. Take care.